That's no good. That means today we're gonna be building ourselves a brand new drive-through fence gate. Fence gates are awesome because if you have the property, the space, kind of like we do here, this is ideal location to have maybe an RV, a boat, a trailer, whatever to put it in here. This fencing all sucks. It's super old. And in fact, none of it matches. Like there's vinyl stuff over there, there's newer stuff there. But because this is the front facing side of the house, it has to have this accent to it. And today, by golly, we're gonna do that. We need to start digging our posts first. An average trailer you got to consider is probably about 6 feet wide if it's like a utility trailer. No, like 7 feet wide. An average camper, tow behind camper is about 8 feet. Who knows how big of a monstrosity you want to get after that. So we're going to stay in the side of, give it like a 10-foot trailer wide thing. So if it's an 8-foot camper, they have a foot on each side. The goal here is to make sure this thing doesn't sag at all. And that's our #1 goal. So we could go towards like 12 feet, give it even more room, but you have more potential of saggage and we're avoiding saggage. 10 feet's the number. I'm gonna try to line up with this line here as my first post. And because we have an old AC unit here, our next post is gonna be somewhere here. Let's start digging. This is just my luck. There's a concrete form already underneath here. It looks like where the old fence used to be. So that means our job's gonna be even harder. We have to dig out the old one to put the new one in. Nothing can go easy around here. This is ridiculous. There's one right here as well. I'm not digging these up. I think what I'm just gonna do is move it 1 foot forward in front, which means it's just gonna butt up right here as opposed to here. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't really care that much for it, but that kind of blows a little bit, just a little bit. All right, setting post 101. Your hole has to be 1/3 length of your post. That's #1. #2, add some drainage at the bottom. That drainage, a little bit of rock, when water starts coming down, it's all gonna start seeping at the bottom. If you don't have any rocks, eventually the water will lift the post out with the concrete. So drainage, 1/3 of the hole, catch your breath. Concrete, high strength, mix it up, throw it in there, and then we gotta make sure this thing is set, leveled overnight. So some of you might be commenting that I should have put forms down. I don't like using forms on posts because when you dig the hole out and you put the concrete forms in, there is very little chances that all the gaps around will get filled. They're usually great for dispersing energy downwards like a deck, but something that has side to side push, by putting concrete straight into the hole, it fills the entire cavity up. So in my experience, that tends to work a lot better. Also, when you start finishing these ends off right here, create a tiny slope. Again, if you create it too flat, water can pool and stay in there. But if you get a little tiny slope, water drips away, making sure your pressure treated wood lasts a lot longer. Guys, when I started building in 2016, I had no experience, I had no knowledge, and I didn't know where to look for the information, so I just found bits and pieces all over the internet. That's where I wish that I had the Woodworkers Guild of America. That's why if you are a beginner woodworker, maybe you're just starting or thinking about building things yourself, or maybe you're an expert already, Woodworkers Guild of America is the one-stop shop for all project ideas, all building, and all knowledge when it comes to creating something with your hands. Woodworkers Guild of America is an online woodworking resource for ideas, information, or anything related to building. It's a community where passionate woodworkers come together to express their creativity and to master their craft. You'll find interesting articles, project ideas, product reviews, and my personal favorite, Q&As with experts in their field. They have tons of premium video subjects including wood turning, bandsaw techniques, cabinet making, finishes, jigs and fixtures, shop safety, joinery, hand tools, gluing and clamping, lathe turning, and much, much more. You'll find incredible resources like project design, sharpening your tools, your shop setup, tool buying advice, wood shop tips, beginner level and advanced level woodworking. One of my recent lessons I've learned in Woodworkers Guild of America is sharpening my hand tools. I was terrible at it. I was putting the wrong bevel on it, and I was actually damaging the blade, the metal, because I was doing it completely wrong. I wish I had the Woodworkers Guild of America when I first got started in this stuff. And they're offering an incredible deal for the viewers of this channel. The first 1,000 people who click the link in the description below will get a full year of premium membership to Woodworkers Guild of America for only $1.49. That's $1.49. First 1,000 people, rush, click the link, get all the information you can, and start building. Thank you, Woodworkers Guild of America, for teaching us and partnering us on this channel. Now, let's get back to this video. Our posts are in, the concrete is drying. We're gonna start working on lumber. We gotta get this thing light enough, but yet strong enough to swing open and close. We're using 2x4 Douglas fir here. I picked out the cleanest ones I could find. We still have some prints that they had from the factory, so we're gonna give it a light sand, get all that stuff off, and then we're gonna seal it with deck staining. This is a semi-transparent. The picture looks good, but the weird thing about these pictures is it never really looks like that on different wood species. So we're about to find out how it turns out. This is the framing. It's drying real nice. The color's not what it looked like on the can, so it looks teak. This just looks like, you know, amber, like shellac or something. For the sides, we're sticking with the wood species pine. This is tongue and groove, and I think in order to create this more modern kind of look, the gaps have to be even. So you'll have this kind of almost like shiplap look to it, and I think that will be pretty freaking sick. So this doesn't really need much sanding or anything, but we're definitely got about 26 pieces to stain. I mean, it's gonna make for a long day of staining. All right, let's start building our framing here. So I picked up the hardware, got this at the Home Depot. This is the Gate anti-sag brackets. So they go in these corners, but what's cool about them is that the butt joints overlap, so it strengthens a lot stronger. Now the bad part is its maximum width is 5 feet, and I'm pushing at 5.5 feet. Hopefully those engineers kind of plan that people like me are going to do stuff like that. So we're going to start assembling this together and see how really anti-sag it is. You know what, first impressions, I really like these brackets, mostly because they look promising. I mean, time will tell, but also it's nice to have a reassurance that this is gonna keep it square as you're attaching them, or else we'll have to kind of finagle with them. But no side-to-side movement at all. So far it's relatively light because we're gonna add more wood to it. But so far I like them. You know, built-in hinges. The screws are nice and they're not Phillips, so because I'll be stripping them left and right. Not bad. Each kit, 40 bucks, which is 2 of them is gonna be what, 80? Damn, I'm on fire with this math. Not a bad deal. Let's bust out another one. Concrete cured pretty well. I'm a little nervous about the natural flex that a 4x4 does have. Maybe going 4x6 would have been a better option. I don't know. I know even metal would have done the same, but we did our job right. We poured the right footings in, we put the right posts in. Next up, let's hang this piece against this wall here. This will give this section a little bit more reinforcement from flexing it forward. Oh, and by the way, the string got it all leveled. Nice thing is never really had to cut anything. So far we're off to a good start. I think we're ready for our doors. So glad I didn't put the cleats on. Makes it a whole lot easier to carry. I'm thinking swinging out this way as opposed to swinging in that way, because that's gonna block off this walkway. It's gonna be weird. Might be even a danger hazard, people not seeing somebody walking out as they're backing up. So this gate will open up for us. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I need a drill. All right, fingers crossed, please line up and don't be too big or too small. It's a little bit, like a little bit. Dang. All right, that's perfect. A little tweaking and we're looking good here. The latch will catch it. This will give it enough tension so it's not sagging. I think we're good. Next up, I'm gonna put my last piece down below and we'll start wrapping this thing with all the beautiful tongue and groove that we got. Here's the plan, tongue and groove, start from the bottom, work your way up. One brad nail goes inside the tongue part and the other one goes and hits the previous tongue part. So essentially we're only gonna see one nail. Now, in terms of nails, most fencing, they use, you know, certain kind of, I don't know, gauge of nails, but we're gonna use brad nails, and I know I'm gonna get some crap for this, but we have to conceal the nail holes. So to make sure it's also strong, because brad nails aren't really typically that strong, we're gonna go with a 16 gauge. It's a thicker steel. We're not far off from a regular thickness of gauge, which is probably like what, 10 on a regular fence. So I think this will keep things nice and clean and strong for what do we need it. Piece of advice I'll give you that I just realized myself, so it's not like coming from a professional, is these gaps when it comes to where the hinge side is, make sure, because you want to keep a minimum, right? But you also got to keep in mind they have to open all the way. So as you can see, this opens all the way, and that means our gap here is almost like 3/8 to a half an inch. That's exactly half an inch. So something to keep in mind when it comes to tackling this yourself. This is rad. I'm especially excited about the fact that everything's lining up. right? So you have like 3 different variables here. I was really nervous that the fence is gonna start sagging in, so this would not be symmetrical. But so far, so good. I'm shy about 1 or 2 sticks to cap off this part, just like I did there. But in the meantime, because I still need to go buy those 2 sticks and stain them, I'm gonna wrap this section. That way this will be like one full piece here. And then whatever the rest of the fencing is gonna do is just gonna do. But this is so rad. Hardware time. So I got these nice beefy black handles that look super cool. So I think I'll attach it somewhere right here. Doesn't make too much sense to go too high. So somewhere there, then we'll start throwing the latches, the locks, and all that jazz. Well, there you have it, guys. Built a trailer gate that does not sag on us. It looks incredible. It looks fantastic. I love that it's an accent piece from the front side of the yard. I think it's a great addition to this house. And in case you're wondering about the budget on this, roughly about $90 to $100 for the hardware. That includes both the latches and the anti-sag hardware. And then probably another $700 for all the lumber to create basically a 15-foot stretch. That's this week's project. Thank you so much for watching this. In the meantime, check out a video that I think you might enjoy.